not on the field, court, or ice. You're on the couch. From PG to DC, this is Coaching from the Couch with your host, CWall, delivering coverage for all DC sports teams from the hometown perspective. Nats, Skins, Mystics, DC United, Washington Wizards, Caps, Bowie State.
My name's CWall, I'm a PG girl. Down for my skins, I don't know if you heard. If you like watching sports, then I am your girl. Sit down on the couch if you're not on the field. Cold on the ice, pick any sport that you want. Know that I cover it tight. What would you like? From baseball to football and more. The list can go on the whole night. Big shouts out to my HBCU fam. Never forget who I am. Through the wins and the losses, the highs and the lows. We gotta stay strong, so I stay 10 toes. Make the competition back. The way I kick it, make them mad, man. CWall and we live and direct. Sit back on the couch and relax. Come on.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Coaching from the Couch. This is your weekly DC sports update, and I am smiling really hard because, as you all can see, I have a guest with me. And look, we all know who it is. It's Travis Thomas from Team 980. And Travis was jamming during the intro video.
What? I'm not going to lie to you. First of all, you know I'm a fan. I've been on the show before. We've been trying to link up to have me back. But I'm a huge fan. I always watch. And I'm not going to lie. I ride around sometimes and I sing your theme song. And people be looking at me. Because, you know, for me to sing, my name's CWall, I'm a PG girl. People are like, what is going on with him? But I'm a fan. Your theme song gets me hype every time. You get me hype every time. I am happy to be back home on your show.
I love that so very much. That just makes my heart smile. You have no idea how that's just awesome to hear you say that. And I have to shout out this individual right here, Bridget Neal, my cousin, who is like, OMG, Travis. That is how Travis and I met. Bridget and Travis went to high school together. That is my cousin. And now Travis, that's my cousin. So Travis, my cousin too. So that's how we all related.
We all family. You know I love Bridget. And listen, y'all come from good stock because I at this point, I need to come to the family reunion. Can we just be honest about this? I just need to come to the family reunion.
Yes, absolutely. We see Cameron Mingo chiming in saying that we're two of his favorite in DC sports media. How about that?
I love Cam. You know, Cam's been supportive of me my entire career, TV, podcast, radio, wherever I'm at, he's at, holding me down. He hits me up all the time during my show and sends messages. So I always say to him, maybe the Mingo ate your baby.
Yes, that is so awesome. And we have some of the CWall Sports and Entertainment family, Joy Butler, who is part of the team, Mazdak as well. And Travis, you have to say hello since you're saying about coming to the family reunion. My mom watches every show, so you have to say hello to Mama Waller. You have to say hello to her. She's watching right now. She's so excited.
Oh my God. Well, now I know I'm coming to the family reunion because if Mama loved me, I'm good. I can go anywhere I want. I'm carte blanche. Once I'm in with Mama, I'm good for life. So shout out.
Awesome. Listen, let's get started. And you're right. This is having you on the show. It does feel like home. We have been able to bond over our love of DC sports, our love of sports media, our love of journalism, even over the woes. We've been able to be like, man, it's bad out here, isn't it? It's sad out here.
Yeah.
Woo. So
Woo-sa is really what's going on.
Woo-sa. So look, we've been trying to figure out, you guys, what we were going to do tonight because Travis and I, we can talk all the time. We could talk for hours, but we know that we're on a time schedule. So we're trying to be, just be aware of that. And we were like, hey, we could do any one of these teams. But you know what? I'm going to go with based on who I see checking in, and it's a ton of DC sports fans checking in, a ton of Travis Thomas fans checking in. So I'm going to do a tradition on the show when we have the Washington football team update. Okay,
Okay.
so we're
All
gonna
right.
we're gonna go ahead and do Washington football team stuff because I know that's what folks want to know. They want to talk about it. We know it's basketball season, it's hockey season, but we both know, Travis, that football wins. Football
Yeah,
wins.
yeah, it's never a dull moment with this football team either, is it? I mean, honestly, between scandals and name changes and quarterback, who's going to be like quarterback? And do we believe in Ron Rivera? I mean, there's a number of places, number of branches on this tree that you can go. I'll follow you anywhere you want to go.
Okay, awesome, awesome, awesome. While everybody is checking in, you all want to make sure you are hitting the love and like button and sharing this show with your DC sports loving family and friends because we got a family member on the show that I know everybody wants to see, and that is Travis Thomas from Team 980. So, Travis, we're going to start with a game
All
that
right.
is what's your one word?
Whoa.
So, what's your one word to describe your feelings about the Washington football team season?
Optimism. I think, look, I think in a lot of ways, we always talk about rock bottom, right?
Mm-hmm.
And people say, oh my gosh, this is rock bottom, or how much lower can you go? I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know if things could get much worse for this franchise, and they already are. I mean, I just said to you tongue in cheek and kind of jokingly, but it's true. You look at everything this franchise is going through and has been through for many moons, going way back, okay? And they are trying everything in their power to exorcise the demons, past and present, and look for a brighter future.
Yeah.
And I respect that. I mean, you and I were just talking off air before we got on. Now, I know how classy you are and how much love you have for me and how much respect you have for me. And I know we're really family because you ain't bring none of that up on air. But you know everything going on in my life right now. You know, all my business is in your street right now. And so I don't mind sharing it. My life is a mess right now. Many of our lives are a mess right now. But all you can do when things are crazy and all scrambled up and your feelings are all over the place and your life is all over the place is just keep trying to put it back together like a puzzle. Yeah. Keep trying to put the pieces back where they may go. And I respect that. And, I get a lot of calls on my show and people bashing the franchise, and that's easy to do. And they're talking about past transgressions, and they're talking about this GM made this decision, and this quarterback did this, and this guy didn't work, and this draft pick this, and this coach this, and the fans that. I get it. I was there too. I'm from here just like you. I get it. But they are trying, and there's something to be said for that. I like that they're rebranding. I like that there's a name change. I like that there's going to be a new logo. I'm not sure if I'm going to like what the direction they go in with the name or the logo, but I respect that they're trying, and I respect that they're doing it and they're following through. They're going to have a new quarterback. They're going to, everything's new. Eventually, they're going to have a new stadium. I just admire that. And so for me, optimism is my one word for all those reasons.
That was great. That was great because I think in that and even talking to you, that helps me to center around, yes, we've seen better, but we've seen much worse. Right. And despite the scandals, because yes, we all know there's scandals. We all know that. And despite folks still trying to hold on, there is a group of folks that are trying to rebrand and move things forward, and things are not going to happen overnight. Yes, people are tired. They're exhausted from waiting to win another year and all of those things. But there's something to be said for the franchise and the folks in position just trying to get the respect back. And trying to get some energy around the rebrand and the culture and the name change. Because I don't know about you, Travis, but I feel like the videos, the name brand, the hype videos, those are pretty dope. Like whoever put those together, they're good. Really good.
Yeah, I agree. They hype me up. The only thing I guess the only thing I would kind of nitpick is that all the internet sleuths out there, all the damn detectives that come out of nowhere. This is why men, we are never successful. Anytime you think about cheating or creeping, oh, you gonna get caught. Because all of a sudden they put these hype videos out and people are screenshotting and taking pictures of, look at the reflection right here on this window in the third corner. You could see the logo and the name, and if you zoom in, you can. I'm like, oh my God, I can barely check my email, for God's sakes. You guys are figuring out the team name from a reflection in the G-damn window? Really?
Right. Yeah. That's tiresome. It is so tiresome. I can't. I know I didn't see it. We were like, did you see this? Did you see that? I'm like, man, we're going to wear ourselves out by February the 2nd.
I know. And by the way, we'll probably all be wrong.
Right? That's what I said. I said, there's no way. I'm like, if it is, let's just go ahead and talk about it, right? I'm like,
right.
If it is Commanders, either it was a really bad idea to because that just got out way too easy,
right?
Or it's absolutely none of the above.
Yes. And I'm fine with whatever at this point. Honestly, I take calls every day. And people are like, there's still people that refuse to call them anything but the Redskins. There's people that say, I don't care what the name is, it's going to suck. I'm like, well, you don't even know. Well, all the list of the names suck. And I'm like, well, what if it's a name that you haven't heard that's not on the list? Well, then that's wrong to not tell us. And I'm like, all right, well, at this point, as we all know in 2022, and it's probably been like this forever, but certainly in 2022, you cannot make everybody happy. And at the end of the day, people are going to be upset if they're going to be upset anyway. It doesn't matter. So just pick a name. Let's go with it. Let's move on. What cures all is winning. Win, yes. And everyone will love the name.
Yes, win, and everybody will love the name. That is absolutely true. And I see that CWall team member Joy Butler put for everyone to drop their questions and comments in the chat. Let us know what you want to ask Travis while he has so graciously blessed us with his presence. So while we're talking about winning, what did you really like about the team this year? I know that we can talk about complaint, but let's start with the positive first. What did you really like? What did you enjoy watching in the team this year?
Resiliency. I mean, to me, I think it's Ron Rivera's brand at this point. All his teams in Carolina were really tough. Of course, we saw the one team get hotter than fish grease and go to the Super Bowl. Cam Newton was MVP. They went to the Super Bowl. They lost to Peyton Manning, but they were there. I mean, all these teams always kind of have this hard-nosed toughness to them. And Ron Rivera himself, personally, I mean, we saw his battle with cancer and him fight through that, still coach the team, and the team responded to that. In year one, they made the playoffs, albeit with a losing record, but they made the playoffs, and they stood toe-to-toe with the eventual Super Bowl champs. Year two, look, I thought they regressed, even though they won 7 games again. And you could say, well, that's stagnant. It's they just kind of maintain. I thought they regressed a bit, but one thing I saw with the team was that same toughness, that same grit, that same fight, which is why I'm at this point, it's a Ron Rivera thing. It's his teams always have that. And you have to think too, as the season went on, injuries mounted. They had a COVID outbreak. I mean, everything that could go wrong for this team down the stretch did. And they were still, with the exception of that second Dallas game, and I guess the Philly game to a certain extent that was at FedEx. I mean, they hung in there, and they fought hard, and they finished the season with a win. I thought that a lot of people were suggesting they should lose to get a better draft pick, but I like that they beat the Giants in the finale, and you kind of finish the season with hey, when we are whole, when we are healthy, when we don't have a COVID outbreak, when we improve this team in the offseason, when we have a new name, we're going to come and beat everyone's ass next year.
Yep. Yeah, that is absolutely a great way to look at it, because it's always like the what if. What if there wasn't a COVID outbreak?
Yep.
right? What if there wasn't all the different injuries that started happening around the same time of the COVID
Right.
outbreak? You just
Right.
never know what could have happened for
Yep.
certain. Now, a question did come in. How is the recovery? I guess of Chase and Logan Thomas going? I think Chase did mention in the exit, end of season exit interviews that his recovery was going well. Travis, I don't know if you've been hearing anything on your end regarding Logan Thomas and Chase.
Yeah, same as you. Everything's fine.
Mhm.
Everything's on schedule. Both should be back. I will say this one thing to watch with Chase that I really want to see and I'm intrigued by, and I've talked about it on my show.
Mhm.
Is he going to participate in OTAs this time around? Remember, last offseason was a big deal. He didn't show
Mhm.
up for OTAs. Everyone else did. Chase is the leader. What's going on? Then we see him pop up on Family Feud. We see him in every Under Armour commercial ever invented in the history of
Mhm.
mankind. We see him in all these things. He got confronted about it as we got into the season once he started struggling
Yep.
because as you know, if he's productive, that never comes up. But you
Right.
struggle, you have a big old target on your back because you weren't around for all this stuff in the off season, right? That people were
Yep.
like, I thought he's a leader. Where's the guy at?
Mhm.
I didn't have a problem with it. Dude was making money. He admitted it.
Yep.
I'm
He
fine
did.
with it. I'm fine with it. Get your money. You're on a rookie deal. You're not getting paid like all these other guys are getting paid in the league who are elite at their position like you are. But
Yep.
now he's unproductive. He gets hurt. I mean, to me, I need you there, bro. I need you there. You're rehabbing. You're getting back healthy. You've been ridiculed in the past for this. This is a huge offseason for Chase Young, not just because of the injury, but let's see his moves. Let's
Yep.
see what he does as a leader. I got to have him. Logan Thomas, I hear, is on schedule. Curtis Samuels says he's as healthy as he's ever felt, which is great now that the season's over.
It's over, right? It's
But
over
he
now.
says he's healthy, so hopefully we're all good and we go into next season. Should be healthy. Fingers crossed.
You know, you are. I just go back to the point that you're making about Chase. You know, these guys, like you said, hey, you're making money, and I get it. But when you are the leader of the team, you have to be present. You
Yes.
have to be there because when your numbers aren't the same, when you're making kind of football one-on-one mistakes,
Yep.
then the target is on you.
Yep.
And then you get hurt, and the first thing they're going to tie it to is, well, if you had been conditioning with the team, you had been doing this with the team, if you had been,
Yep.
that's the first thing everyone is going to say. And I wholeheartedly agree with you, Travis. This off season and upcoming season is huge for Chase Young because folks are going to want to see even more productivity.
Yep.
Because, I mean, if you go back to, offensive rookie of the year was who? He was the defensive rookie of the year, and offensive rookie of the year was who? Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
And we
Right.
see the kind of season he had, consistent in terms
Right.
of just play and productivity.
Right.
And everybody wants the same for Chase, especially while he's in Washington.
Yes. Well, even this year, look
Mhm.
at the rookie class this year. Micah Parsons lit this league on fire.
Lit it up.
So, I mean, I look at and by the way, his numbers were better than Chase's rookie numbers. So, I mean, I'm not giving up on the guy. I believe he's a tremendous player. He's a tremendous person. I know he's repping PG just like you, so we got love for him.
Yep.
And I'm not giving up on him, but I need to see the leadership. I have no doubt at all that Chase Young, the player, will be just fine. But I need to see Chase Young, the leader. That's what I need to see. My career, you and I have talked about this. My career started in Baltimore, and I covered the Ravens. And I was blessed to cover Ray Lewis's career. And I mean, by the end of his career, I had already left and came to Washington. But I saw a lot of prime years of Ray Lewis. And that dude was at every workout, every voluntary, involuntary, you name it. Ray Lewis was there, and he was in tune, and he was staring everyone in the eyes with those intense eyes of his, holding everyone accountable. And he's the face of that franchise still, right? So to me, I need to see that from Chase Young. I'm not saying he needs to be Ray Lewis, although it would be great for Washington, clearly, if they get that kind of production, that kind of career. But he needs to be that type of leader for this franchise because he is still, unless they trade for one of these big quarterbacks, who I'm sure we'll talk about, he's the
Yeah.
face of the franchise, for better or for worse. So
Yep.
he's got to act accordingly.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. And what you just said takes us into the next piece of this, which is, who is the next Washington football team quarterback in your opinion? Who is it? Is Taylor? Are they going to go get Aaron Rodgers? What's happening here? Russell Wilson, maybe? I don't know. Who knows? Draft somebody. Do all of the above.
Right. I mean, can I pick E, all the above?
Right,
Look,
exactly.
if I had to answer to any of those, I wouldn't be doing my show. I'd be on your show because we peoples, but
Right.
I wouldn't be doing my show every day. I'd be on a beach in Santorini, Greece, somewhere with an umbrella in my drink because I could tell the future. I have no idea. Deshaun Watson, Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, Jimmy Garoppolo.
I see somebody says, somebody says Derek Carr.
I mean, those are the, let's call them big fish. By the way, could be let's get back together. Could be some R&B songs. Could be a reconciliation with Kirk Cousins. Don't sleep on that. And then you have the draft route. Look, in the free agency pool, it's not very good. Jameis Winston, Marcus Mariota, there's no names that's going to move anybody. So I don't, unless that's brought in to compete with Taylor Heineke for a backup role, I don't really see the free agent pool doing anything. You're not just going to just overpay for someone and be done with it, the typical Washington way, right? To me, I think it's got to be a trade. And if you draft someone, none of these quarterbacks, I'm a college football junkie. None of these guys, in my opinion, are ready to go day one. None of them. They all need some Lowrys. They all need some seasoning. So I think they have to trade for one of those names I just said. And you're going to have to give up the farm to get any one of those guys more than likely.
Yep, definitely going to have to give up a lot. They're going to make a splash at quarterback. Like you said, they're going to have to give up the farm for them. You reminded me, because you are such a college football guru, we're definitely going to have you back on the show right before the draft. We're going to have to be like, Travis, let us know the deal. Give us the rundown. It might have to be a couple of episodes, because I know sometimes we're tight on time and we talk a lot. But like, give it to us. Who do they need to be targeting? Because I think the draft should be interesting, as it always is.
Yeah.
But I was sharing on the show last week. It's sometimes you want to watch not just what the Washington football team does, but what the rest of the division does. Like when Dallas drafted Micah Parsons, and we were like, oh no.
You're right about that. I knew he was going to haunt us for a decade at least.
Like, get this guy. No, we got to deal with him twice a season. No way, man. But Travis, before we close out, we got a few more minutes, and I want to share with everybody that Travis and I were talking before the show, and we said, let's have some real conversation, right? We've been in a pandemic. Like real life pandemic, life shut down. Everything has changed for everybody. No one can say that everything is the same as it was 2 years ago. Everything is just different all the way around. So Travis, just let us know, how are you doing? How are you doing?
I'm blessed because I'm still here. My family's healthy. We had a bout with COVID Christmas Eve. I think Christmas Eve, I was like, I tested positive, and my family tested negative. So I was like super isolated from the family, just trying to keep everybody safe. Christmas Eve, imagine that. And then eventually my son tested positive, even though I was nowhere near anyone. I felt like a troll under the bridge. Like I was nowhere near my family. So I didn't even feel like guilty about it. I was like, all right, well, this virus is just what we all have dealt with. Like no one can explain anything, right? So my son tests positive. So at that point, my wife's like, look, we're already in quarantine. It's the holidays. We just chilling. We just gonna quarantine through the new year. So we did. And neither her nor my daughter ever tested positive, which is crazy because we were all together. Me and my son were fine, asymptomatic, no big. I think he had the sniffles, but little kids, like, it's not really a big thing to them for the most part. Me, I never had any symptoms. It's just crazy. Like, daycares shut down, schools are virtual. Meanwhile, we all have to work. So I go to the studio and do my show, but I do a lot of shows from home too.
Yeah.
My wife's working from home. So it's like, just life is just so crazy for all of us. But a lot of people are dealing with those things I just said, and health. People in my family have been sick. People have passed away. This is absolute madness that we're all dealing with. So as someone who does a show Monday through Friday, every day, 9 to 12 on Team 980, I am doing everything I can to spread positivity and positive energy and words of encouragement. And just, I'm thankful and blessed to do this. This is my passion. This is all I know is sports. So I try to exude that energy every day in my show. And I get a lot of messages from people just saying, bro, your show lifts me up during all this. And your show has been a light in darkness. And you're doing the same thing with this platform. So I'm glad you asked me that. I appreciate it. And just keep doing what you're doing, because you don't even know who you're uplifting and when they need it. And how God's using you and your platform as a vessel to that person or those people. So continue to do what you're doing, continue blessings. And I hope you're well too. And thank you for asking me that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We have to check in on each other. And I appreciate you saying that even to me, because sometimes it's like, is anybody watching? Is anybody listening? Is anybody? And people are. And this was really the only outlet folks had, was to communicate and talk to each other virtually. Like, we had to shift everything. Like, even I had to laugh at myself, because I'm like, what am I supposed to do now? You want me to do what? I have to learn what? I have to figure out this type of technology, because folks were getting sick and you don't have staff. And it's like, all right, CWall team, Annie up. I guess I'll read this book on StreamYard, and I guess I'll do this tutorial, and I've figured it out. And Travis, I am very technology averse. I don't like it. I'd be like, nope, call me. Find another way. But we had to figure it out.
Me too.
We had to figure it out. And we've been figuring it out and checking in on each other. Like, dude, it's been like 2-3 years since we saw each other in real life, in person.
I know. And sat next to each other too.
And sat next to each other and laughed at stuff and been like, look, or what's that?
I know. I was breathing all on you too. I ain't gonna lie. I was breathing all in this side of your neck. I was just right there. My breath is hot. It don't stink, but it's hot.
It doesn't stink. It doesn't stink. But we all would be really close all the time. So, but listen, can you believe? And I knew this was going to happen. Remember, I told you, I said, we're going to get to 30 minutes. And you're going to be like, where's the other 15? And I'm going to be like, all we got is 30 minutes, man.
Well, look, I mean this, and I've told you this before, and it's true, but I'm putting it on wax so everyone can hear. When you need me, all you have to do is throw up the bat signal. I'll see it in the sky, and I'm coming every time. I don't care. Have me as many times as you want, every day if you want. I'm going to answer that bat signal every time. I got you. I love you. I'm coming to the family reunion. You heard Mama. I'm coming. Okay? I'm in there.
Yes, you are. And I love you too. I love you too. Everybody hears that. This is my person right here, my brother for certain. When we we bonded over our dislike for Cowboys fans.
But anyway, didn't it feel good when they lost? It felt good, didn't it?
Oh, it felt good. I wasn't going to say nothing. I was going to try to be peaceful. But I'm going to tell you something, Travis. Your girl was over here sized. I was like, thank you. I was like, thank you, Lord. Woo! Woo! I was so happy. Travis, thank you.
Of course.
Thank you.
Of course.
And everybody for watching. Thank you, guys. As always, make sure you are sharing this show with your DC sports loving family and friends. You can catch the show every Friday. If you have Fios, it's channel 11. If you have Xfinity, it's channel 77. So we're taking over in the afternoon hours with the Culture from the Couch DMV Sports update, and then the Culture from the Couch Washington football team update. You all, this is Travis Thomas from Team 980, and I'm your host, CWall, and I will see you guys again soon.